are a nation of immigrants, every one of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
That was President Joe Biden doing something most of us never get to do. He was thanking the farm workers at a cherry farm in Michigan. I had California blueberries this weekend, but I didn't get a chance to thank Shelby, who took this picture from where she was harvesting blueberries in Rich Grove, California, where it was 104 degrees. I also had California strawberries, but I didn't get to thank any of the farm workers who were working in record heat this season to deliver those strawberries. Sebastian Francisco Perez, a 38-year-old farm worker in Oregon, died last week when temperatures rose above 115 degrees in Oregon. If you had watermelon on the 4th of July, you can thank Samuel, Mario, and Juan, who were hard at work in 105-degree weather. Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Raul Ruiz of California. He is the chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and he is also a physician. Also with us, Dolores Huerta, civil rights activist and labor leader. She is the co-founder of the United Farm Workers of America with Cesar Chavez, and she is now and always will be my hero. Dolores, let me begin with you and the question of what this heat wave means for the already difficult work that farm workers are doing.
Well, we know that it is something that farm workers always have to suffer when they're up in the heat, and only California and Washington State are the only two states that have any kind of provision in the law that farm workers have to be given shade. They have to be provided water. Of course, that is in the law all over, but it is very threatening for so many farm workers. And we have had not only farm workers, but, I would say that we know that in Canada, about 500 people there died of heat also. So we know that this global warming is a big threat, but especially to farm workers. And unfortunately, many of the employers of the farm workers, they're not out there in the fields with the farm workers. They have their offices in air-conditioned places in San Francisco or Los Angeles. And so, yes, farm workers are very, very definitely being threatened by global warming and by what's happening out there. And they're not being taken care of the way that they should be.
Congressman Ruiz, you have two perspectives on this. One as a member of Congress, another as a physician and a public health expert. Tell us what you're seeing in how this heat wave affects the farm workers.
Thank you, Lawrence. First, let me just say what an honor it is to be on with Dolores Huerta. It's like a dream come true as a son of farm workers myself. I just want to thank her publicly on behalf of my parents and all the parents that toil the field with calloused hands and minimum rest. Thank you for all that you have done to make life better for us. And we have so much more to do. And as a physician, Lawrence, I have taken care of farm workers in the emergency department that come in with mental status changes, with heat rash, with dehydration, severe dehydration that could lead to renal insufficiency, kidney problems. Many of them may have diabetes and they have worsened, or they come in a diabetic coma because of their dehydration. So this is very serious. In fact, farm workers are 20 times more likely to suffer from heat illness and die from heat stroke than others. And in fact, in 2015, a 48-year-old father of three by the name of Jaime in my district died from working out in the fields. It's very difficult to be able to withstand 10 hours of working in over 100-degree temperature. And in the desert, in the Coachella Valley, we can reach up to 100, 115, 120 routinely, which we've already had.
And Dolores, the heat is not a new problem for farm workers, seasonal farm workers, but what it is focusing the difficulty of the work in a way that many people have not had to witness before, thanks to social media and other ways of getting this message out that we didn't have in the past.
Yeah, and there is a way to stop the illnesses and the deaths of farm workers by getting them out of the field early, getting them out of the field, before the temperatures get too high. And we had our contracts way back in the day. We know not one single farm worker died of heat exhaustion because they were out of the field. And this is something that the employers have to do. They have to take responsibility, tell their foreman, the labor contractors, once the temperature gets up so high, get the people out of the field. That they don't have to You may have to hire more workers to do the work, but that's okay as long as we can prevent people from dying. This is what we have to do.
And also, Congressman, there in some fields they are starting them basically in the middle of the night, so that they're not exposed to as much sun. Some as early as 3 o'clock in the morning to start working in the cooler temperatures.
Yes, sir. In fact, we actually have a bill in Congress introduced by Congresswoman Judy Chu called the Asuncion Valdivia Heat Illness and Fatalities Prevention Act. And that would federalize or nationalize paid breaks in cool spaces, make sure that there's access to clean drinking water out in the fields, and to limit their exposure to the extreme heat, and also to hold growers accountable to initiate emergency services and not just send them home, but if there's mental status changes or illness, to call 911. It's remarkable that in today, we're still fighting to give farm workers access to clean water and cool spaces to take breaks when it's 115 degrees outside. And so these are basic preventions and public health measures that we can do today.